Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, hello. My name is Chanel and I'm an urban homesteader here in St. Louis, Missouri. Today we are going to plant some lettuce out in the greenhouse inside of the green stock. So I'm going to take you guys with me on that project today. It is a beautiful day out here today. It's like 57 degrees and it's gonna be in the 60s this weekend. So I really wanna get out here and get some stuff planted inside of the greenhouse. And the reason why I want to plant some stuff in this greenhouse is because I made tacos the other day and I realized I had no lettuce and I had no cilantro. I had nothing readily available in my garden. So I was like, oh, I better get outside and plant it. I ended up going to the store to get like some pico de gallo and some other fixings, and guys, that store-bought stuff I just can't. It was terrible. So I brought myself out here today and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna plant some stuff so that I don't have to run into those problems anymore. I also have like a mini arrow garden in the house, which I never used before. So I'm gonna get some micro dwarf tomatoes planted inside of that machine today as well. And this is just my little raised bed cover that I'm gonna open up. There's something in here eating on my plants. I believe it's caterpillars. And then I did see a couple aphids in here. So I need to get in here and do some maintenance on this bed before they eat up everything that's left. So I had to water the green stock because the soil inside the tower was pretty dry. So now that I have that moistened, I'm going to start planting out my seeds. And I'm doing nothing fancy when it comes to these lettuce varieties. I'm just going to do like butter crunch and romaine. And lettuce is dependent on light for germination. So I'm not going to plant these too deep, but just, you know, on top of the soil and then just lightly cover. And again, a lot of people say lettuce is easy to grow. For me, lettuce is one of the hardest things for me to grow. I can grow a tomato with my eyes closed, but when it comes to lettuce, I struggle. So I got the green stock planted out. I ended up putting in the butter crunch lettuce, some romaine, some radishes, and I took a chance and I planted some green beans. These won't be ready for another 60 days or so, so around February. I don't know if these guys are gonna make it. I also did not soak them before I planted them. I usually do that before I plant my green beans, but we'll see what happens. So since I'm out here in the garden, I'm gonna go ahead and just fertilize everything while I'm out here. So I'm pretty basic when it comes to fertilizing my garden. I use fish emulsion, a ton of compost, this 5-gallon bucket, and some rainwater to mix the fish fertilizer in. I used to do all those fancy like amendments and things like that. I found that, you know, it was overkill and it was expensive. So the best and most budget-friendly fertilizing routine that I have for my plants, ton of compost and the fish, it gets them right. If I do find like things like blood meal, bone meal, stuff like that on sale, usually towards the end of the season, I will load up on that and amend my soil with that one time throughout the growth season. But other than that, I don't use the dry fertilizers too much in my garden. So I fertilize my plants once a week, every Friday, with just some fish emulsion. Sometimes I do add some worm casting compost tea as well. For my plants inside of the greenhouse, I'm actually going to skip fertilizing them this week because some of the plants have aphids, and aphids love nitrogen. So I'm just going to cut back on the fertilizer this week and get those aphids taken off of those plants and reassess them the following week to see if they need some fertilizer. Bone and blood meal will also work well with growing brassicas. So if you do not have access to fish emulsion, I definitely recommend using blood and bone meal instead. So thank you guys for joining me today. I really appreciate you guys taking some time out to spend a couple minutes with me in my garden. And I look forward to growing with you guys this season. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel and giving this video a thumbs up. And I'll catch you all in the next one.